up to speed and transform your gaming experience with Blue Yonder broadband internet.
Hello, welcome to Gamer TV. Coming up, the Red Ninja hacks and slashes her way across ancient Japan.
Kill her now!
Fighting for truth and justice, meet the boffins behind Freedom Force. And Beautiful Joe 2 brings cartoon kung fu capers to the PS2. But before all of that, make sure all of the lights are switched on and you're watching our first review with a friend. It's Doom 3. PC gamers have already been dragged to hell and back by one of last year's premier first-person shooters. For Xbox owners, months of anticipation can now make way for pant-filling fear, because they're finally able to embark on their own horrific ride. Doom 3 has arrived on Microsoft's console. The scenario remains the same. You're placed in the futuristic combat boots of a space marine sent to a Mars research facility. The scientists there are pioneering the use of teleportation. This would be pretty handy had they not opened up a gateway to hell, letting all its demonic residents come streaming through into the base in a really bad mood. As one of the sole survivors, it's down to you to shoot your way out of this nasty predicament. The main course of this malevolent meal is the campaign mode that, like its PC cousin, features over 20 levels of shadowy peril in different areas of the ransacked facility. After that, things really heat up and you're transported to Beelzebub's own backyard, where it's always barbecue time.
Welcome to my domain.
With visuals that are effectively a lower resolution, less textured version of those allowed by a high-spec PC, developers of Vicarious Visions have done a sterling job of bringing id's game to the Xbox with its unnerving atmosphere intact. Despite providing fun and frenetic action, with just standard and team deathmatch modes offered for up to 4 players, the multiplayer features won't worry the likes of Halo 2. The Xbox has an ace up its sleeve though, cooperative mode via System Link or Xbox Live. Maps here have been altered and the plot has been stripped away to enable a flowing 2-player experience. You'll often lose your companion in the dark metallic corridors, especially when you can move around the level totally independently. You'll soon realise the importance and satisfaction of teamwork. Watching each other's backs, keeping track of spilled equipment, or holding the torch while the other's on shooting duty. It pays to be helpful. We'll give it 4 out of 5. The campaign and co-op missions provide plenty of hellish thrills. This is where Xbox Doom 3 really rocks. It's common for comic book heroes like Spider-Man, Judge Dredd and Wolverine to jump off the page and become video game icons. But what happens when a games company invents its own superheroes? Boston, USA-based Irrational Entertainment has created a rich comic book universe for the Freedom Force series of PC games.
These heroes fight evil as Freedom Force.
With nearly 100 original Caped Crusaders taken to the air in a classic cel-shaded evil stomping romp. We recently donned our X-ray specs to take a look behind the scenes at Freedom Force HQ.
One of my goals getting into the games industry was always to do a game in the comic book genre, because I think it's such a broad genre. There's so many influences.
I feel the minds of opposition.
So I think one of the great things about doing the first comic book game on the PC was that we had a fresh palette to work from. Nobody had done it. And I think we surprised a lot of people.
Enemies stand before us.
I've been a comic book reader my whole life, and I've spent an unfortunate amount of time thinking about comic books growing up, and I worked with our concept artist, Rob Waters, to create all the characters and the look. Basically, we had to create a whole comic book world from scratch.
I'm Rob Waters. I do the conceptual character design. Ken will, generally come up with a script and hand it off to me. I'll read through it, and then, basically just like a comic, I'll have to break that paragraph down into different panels. First the rough sketch, then transfer it onto the Bristol board and do a more refined version and ink it. From this stage, then I'd scan it in and open it up in Photoshop and color it in.
But that's just the start of the process.
This is the opening shot in the prison. I've got a bunch of annoying notes here. Then, as you can see, I want the camera to move in.
Although his heart still pumps at a regular rate, Nathan Graves is dead indeed.
And then it goes on to this other scene, just to give you a little bit of backstory.
Oh, Nathan, I hate it so when you leave in the morning.
It takes about 3 weeks from the point where I get the script to completion, where I finish the storyboards and send it off to Australia, where they do the animation.
For where Nathan Graves once stood, only tombstone remains.
Creating the look of a comic book world is only part of the story, though. For a video game, the sound effects
Have a bit of this.
and the voices need to be convincing too.
Feel the serpent's tooth.
The Freedom Force has a lot of characters. There's like 100 total when you add up all the bit parts. So we go to a casting agency and we get them to give us a whole bunch of people.
Those Reds might have killed Frank Styles, but they're about to meet a Minuteman.
For some characters, it's very easy because sometimes someone from in-house will come up right up to us and say, "Oh, I have an idea for this voice, and I think it would be good." Then we try it out.
Oh, for a muse of fire!
You are an open book to me.
With righteous anger!
With righteous anger.
That's good. I like the over-the-top one.
It's okay, folks. These people are safely under lock and key in Boston. It looks like Freedom Force and its sequel have succeeded in creating a convincing comic book world for role-playing fans. Take that. Next up, take a dash of gaming gossip, add a splash of industry rumour, and what have you got? Spam filter. For one James Bond legend, it's looking like it's never say never again. Again. Sean Connery, grizzled originator of the movie Bond, is set to become the likeness for the secret agent in new Electronic Arts title From Russia With Love. It's yet to be confirmed whether Sir Sean will contribute his Scottish burr to the game's soundtrack, but for many Bond fans, this is already oh heaven. The first console-only games tournament has begun registration. The VG League has chosen Halo 2 as its prime shooter, and the event's first season will be comprised of 112 tournaments across US Scion dealerships. Gamers outside the US will have to wait until the World Cyber Games in October for more console-based competitive gaming. It seems that you too can own a games company. US company Elevation Partners, who count Irish rock legend Bono amongst their directors, have launched a $71 million buyout bid for troubled publishers Eidos. It seems, however, that Eidos's recent poor performance on the stock market has other companies circling. Veterans SCI have chimed in with an offer of $76 million in attempt to keep Eidos in British hands. If Eidos is indeed in genuine trouble, more and more of its rivals may become eager to grab its hottest intellectual properties. Will Lara be moving software house? Nobuo Uematsu's Final Fantasy concerts may be coming to the UK. With a Los Angeles performance now taking place during E3, the Japanese maestro has high hopes of bringing the noise to Blighty. While no specific date has been announced, English gamers are already anticipating the rumble of Square Enix's strings.
And the game kicks off. Ronaldo.
In the ongoing argument over which football game rules the PlayStation pitch, Sony's This Is Football has never really made itself heard over the massive chance for FIFA and Pro Evo.
And they've taken the lead.
Undeterred and with its succinct football working title now dropped in favour of a longer franchise name, World Tour Soccer Challenge Edition will be Sony London Studios' first taste of footy for the Flash Black handheld. Stateside gamers will be familiar with the World Tour name. That's what the series has been known as there for some time. But what's this Challenge Edition business?
His job scored the penalty. Rooney.
Well, in addition to the usual exhibition mode and a range of unofficially named European and Global Cup competitions, there's a challenge mode that will introduce an ingenious way of adding solo gameplay mileage.
Rooney.
You'll be made to work for the privilege of being able to play as all the teams on offer. To earn the tokens needed to unlock new squads, you'll have to play well. This will mean scoring points with accurate passes, clean tackles and good shots. On the flip side, play dirty and you'll be fined. That temptation could prove too much for some in a game that will let you make deliberate theatrical dives. With its launch date postponed to satisfy ravenous demand elsewhere, it looks as though European gamers are going to have to wait a couple more months before they can get their hands on anything other than an imported PSP.
They have put their everything into it, but there had to be a loser today.
It's some consolation then that the first football game we've sampled for the PlayStation Portable makes a good first impression so far.
Zanetti! That's the goal that gives them the equaliser.
Still to come, Guild Wars erupt on the PC. We catch up with multimedia moguls and game developers Rebellion. And we thought ninjas always wore black, not the non-conformist lady in Entana. That's all after the break.
Get up to speed and transform your gaming experience with Blue Yonder Broadband Internet.
Well, then it's over.
Everything's got to end sometime, right?
Breaking up with JT is the best thing that ever happened to me.
All New Eve continues tomorrow at 5:30, exclusive to Trouble.
Now you can have hot showers instantly for just £69, because all electric showers at Homebase are now half price. Make a house a home.
Ta-da! What do you think, sis?
Wow. Can you really afford it?
Well, I saved money on my car insurance with Diamond, so I thought I'd treat myself.
My car insurance is due. What's Diamond's website?
It's diamond.co.uk. You could save loads online. This is nice.
Diamond.co.uk.
What do you think?
I think this will look better on me.
Girls, for your car insurance, give Diamond a ring, or you could save even more at diamond.co.uk.
If you think you were missold your endowment policy, then call Claim for Endowment now, because you could be entitled to compensation. Thousands of homeowners are finding their endowment mortgage doesn't cover the original loan amount. So if you're facing a shortfall, speak to us, because we could win you compensation if your own endowment policy was missold. Claim for Endowment is a free helpline, and the good news is our endowment claim service is on a no-win, no-fee basis. Remember, there may be a time limit on making your claim, so call now or apply online, because we could help win you compensation. Call 0800 183 0342 for free advice about making your endowment mortgage claim. Call now.
Hello, mortgage news just in. Howard.
Halifax is offering special rates and is also the UK's #1 choice for mortgages. Woo!
Splashing. But how can people find out if they could save money on their mortgage?
By calling 0800 328 6789 for free.
So, to find out if you could save money, simply call 0800 328 6789.
And what's the news?
That's my line.
Birthdays, anniversaries, it always seems to be someone's special day. When you get to our age, it's important to think about giving something more to your loved ones. The guaranteed 50-plus plan from American Life helps you plan for the future and ensure that your affairs will be looked after when you're gone. It's a simple, affordable type of life insurance that pays out a cash lump sum when you die to leave for your family or help pay towards funeral expenses. If you're aged 50 to 80, you're guaranteed to be accepted. Cover costs from just 23 pence a day. There's no medical and no hard sell. Plus, provided you keep up the payments, you'll never pay in more than you get out. Call free on 0800 519 5080 for an information pack. There's no obligation and your first month's cover is free. Choose from one of these welcome gifts. Call the guaranteed 50-plus plan now on 0800 519 5080. Act now and give the best gift of all, peace of mind.
Is debt destroying your life? For me, it got so bad I couldn't afford my monthly repayments. I even put my home at risk. If you owe more than £15,000 to 3 or more lenders and you or your partner have a full-time job, there could be a solution to your debt problems. I called Debt Free Direct. They've helped thousands of people turn their lives around. Debt Free Direct understood exactly what I was going through, and their advice was completely confidential and free of charge. They are experts in finding the right solution if you have serious debt problems. Please remember, only call if you have debts over £15,000 and you or your partner have a full-time job. Simply call Debt Free Direct now on 0800 043 9999. That's 0800 043 9999. It could change your life.
Get up to speed and transform your gaming experience with Blue Yonder broadband internet.
Welcome back to Gamer TV. Next up, ninjitsu nastiness in Red Ninja Into Honor.
In the 16th century, 500 years ago,
It's a source of constant amazement to us that anybody made it out of 16th century Japan alive. With the amount of assassination and creepy killing on show here, you'd think the population of 17th century Japan consisted entirely of squirrels. But that's beside the point. Is Red Ninja Enter Honor the perfect example of the period ninja title? Nope. Unfortunately, Red Ninja Enter Honor is badly designed and irritating. You play a teenage assassin dispatched on a series of missions to find people, kill people, and then hide dead people. Novel items in your inventory include a wire that can slice people in half, a poison dart blower, and a wooden pipe used for breathing underwater. This doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Why? Because the camera's rubbish, that's why. Stealth needs a steady view, and if the camera is constantly twirling off in random directions, your enjoyment level has sunken to nil inside of 20 minutes.
Stand still!
It's also hard. Not in a teeth-grinding, sweaty, challenging way either. Dispatching a boss won't bring a cry of triumph, more a sigh of relief that the annoying fool's shut up.
Spirit of the spider!
Some people think that making games as hard as Ninja Gaiden makes them as good as Ninja Gaiden. It doesn't. It's pretty, I suppose, and there are some neat speeding up time effects to be had. Ultimately, though, a Ninja game needs to be special to stand out from the 400,000 titles already out there. Guess what? This one doesn't. 2 out of 5.
Fear me, you spineless vermin! I am the Black Emperor!
When it comes to PS2 versions of successful GameCube titles, there tends to be the sort of petty jealousy, grumbling and backbiting that you might find in, well, a major land war, actually. We're back! Beautiful Joe was no exception. When the PS2 version of the original game came out last year, you couldn't move for console experts examining the screen with magnifying glasses and hooting with laughter at the slightest graphical discrepancy. Well, you can all stop that right now, OK? Beautiful Joe 2 for Sony's machine shares every one of the pros and cons of the GameCube version. In short, it's immensely entertaining and stylish and not all that different from the previous game.
Just go for it!
One major change is the introduction of Joe's girlfriend Sylvia as a playable character. The one-button Beautiful Touch feature allows you to swap between the two battling youngsters in the blink of an eye. All very jolly, but even though Sylvia's armed with a pistol, we found ourselves using good old Joe for most of the time. Maybe it's force of habit, but he just seems faster and harder. This aside, number 2 is very much its father's son. Beautiful, graceful, varied, and of course, tremendously hard. Capcom seem to be very much pursuing an old-school approach to gaming, and this franchise, regardless of console, shows them at the height of their powers. We'll give it 4 out of 5. Now, no bickering, it's just as good on the PS2. You can save all your bile for Resident Evil 4, OK?
Thanks to Joe's heroic sense of justice, our world is at peace again.
Jason and Chris Kingsley are millionaire game developers and very busy fellas. These guys love comic book 2000 AD so much, they bought the company. Not content with making games and publishing comics, they've also made their own slugfest movie, Parasite.
Welcome to the food chain.
But how do the brothers find the time to fit all this in?
In the last 18 months, we've been very busy. We've released Parasite, the movie.
Mickey!
We made World War Zero, which is on the PS2, which is released in Europe, got to number 4 in the chart. And we've been trying to get a particular movie made, finally. But we can't say much about it, except the script's really good, and we're now happy with the script.
Well, they have been busy then. But when the brothers took over 2000 AD 5 years ago, they had ambitious plans.
There's a lot of cross-fertilisation of ideas, and a character like Judge Dredd can go into, obviously, a comic book, but can go into a computer game and can go into a TV series or can go into a film.
So far, though, we've only seen 2 examples of this cross-fertilisation, 2003's Dredd vs. Death and the as-yet unreleased Rogue Trooper.
The great thing with 2000 AD is we've got lots and lots of characters. The bad thing about it is that which ones do we choose to put into games? It's really hard to decide, and ultimately it comes down to getting everyone together and saying, well, which one do we think is going to work as a game?
But have the lessons learned while making Dredd vs. Death slowed down the Rebellion game production line?
Dredd vs. Death was a great success for us. We got a lot of positive feedback and a little bit of stick from some fans. I think it was perhaps could have done with another month's worth of polish, but we had to get it out at a certain time because it had to hit the market at a certain date.
Around the time of the Dredd vs. Death launch, the boys were due to start filming back-to-back Judge Dredd movies.
We are making 2 new Dredd movies that will start, I've been saying this for about a year now, but we believe they will start production within a few months.
Well, that was almost 2 years ago and still no sign of Mega City 1's finest.
The making of the Dredd movie is a continuing saga. Things keep changing on a daily basis. We do now have 1 script that we're very pleased with indeed. We are currently being told that it's a very good chance, and I have no idea, you'll probably come back in a year's time and I'll tell you the same sort of thing again. There's a very good chance that it will be filmed sometime next year.
It's a really interesting learning experience for us to be trying to do the Dredd movie, but the important thing for us is that the movie is good. So we're not in any rush to push a substandard movie through.
So, with the movie hopefully on the horizon, what else does the future hold for the boys?
I think the future of Rebellion is to entertain people in whatever media there is in the future. I think we've cracked games. We'll keep doing more games. We know quite a lot about comics, we'll keep doing more comics. We want to bring the 2000 AD characters more to the rest of the world.
Maybe animated movies, maybe more live action, maybe some more sort of low budget monster movies. I mean, who knows? With the success of Parasite, maybe we can do more on that area. And then whatever else comes along, it gives us an opportunity to do cool stuff. That's really, I think, what helps us get up in the morning and get motivated.
While the massively multiplayer scene still reminds us of a huge chat room for people who like to wear sword belts and codpieces, there's no denying they're still popular. Guild Wars is one such hotly anticipated title, and the first game from ArenaNet, a company founded by the creators of Warcraft, StarCraft and Diablo. A recent online testing weekend gave us some time with the game. While it's obvious that in this genre community will be everything, Guild Wars is evidently an attractive little number. Traditional fantasy visuals are everywhere, so expect plenty of medieval combat, lush landscapes, magic and spell casting, hours of running around, and of course ridiculously dressed companions. There are also a number of weird character classes, our favourite being the vampires who, after killing an enemy, can revive him as a bizarre golem-like manservant. One criticism of this latest breed of online role-playing games is that action is often broken up with long stretches spent either wandering about aimlessly or talking about the weather. Guild Wars will have a solution for that too. Players can compete or cooperate in deathmatch-style guild battles. No plot this time, just spells, weapons and a lot of medieval attitude. While we're still suspicious of any game where you design women's hairdos, Guild Wars is garnering a lot of attention from the RPG crowd. Whether it can maintain a substantial online community remains to be seen, but at least you can rely on us to tell you if it deserves one. It's due out at the end of April. We've nearly run out of magic spells and hit points, but join us next time for more Gamer TV.